And welcome to our Radnor Township Design Review Board meeting. Before we get started, I'm going to ask Jason to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I'll stand and direct you over to the left. Oh, now it's moved. All right. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
We have 6 items on our agenda tonight, so we'll try to move it along pretty quick. Just a couple notes before we get started. These meetings are televised live, so when you approach the podium, please tell us who you are, the business you represent. Please speak clearly into the mic, and there's a table next to the podium. You can lay your plans out there, and the cameraman will pick up the plans for the television. So let's get started. First application is DRB 2019-43, the application of Philly Bloke at 15 West Avenue in Wayne, zoned under Wayne Business Overlay District for an awning. Hello, sir.
How are you?
Good.
Thanks
How
for
you
having me. My name's Eric DeBella, owner of Philly Bloke, for the location of 15 West Avenue. And over here, we're just proposing to change out the black awning that's there, put a new awning, and just put the business name Philly Bloke up there in the size proposed.
Pretty simple application. Just how tall are those letters?
8 inches.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can be no more than 8.
Yeah,
So, okay.
yeah.
All right. And the material is this umbrella?
It's a umbrella.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Since you're a new business to town, we usually let new business get a little 30-second commercial in, so you might as well tell us about Philly Bloke.
Okay. Philly Bloke is a men's hair studio that we cut men's hair. It's a higher-end men's hair salon catering to local patrons, and we look forward to being in Wayne, and it's a great location. I'm looking forward to it.
You know, you have a spot already in Paoli, is it?
I do. I have a spot in Paoli, and we're relocating. Hopefully, if everything goes well, in January we'll be open.
Oh, good.
Business, yeah.
Okay. Are you going to take 2 storefronts or 1?
I'm taking. It's 1 storefront with the two windows.
The 2 windows, okay. Because
Yeah.
I went by and I saw.
Yeah.
I just was wondering. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Good. Good. Lots of luck to you.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
No, I think
Questions,
this
comments for
is
Eric?
a fairly straightforward submission.
Yeah.
You know, it's essentially replacing in kind with a new, new lettering on the front. I think everything
Yeah.
about this is pretty straightforward.
Tim, any questions?
Nothing.
Eric, just mention a couple of things. and
Please.
It's probably already on there, but just make sure your address is prominently displayed on the
Okay.
door or the window. And do you plan on doing any window signage?
What are we allowed to?
You're
to
allowed
do?
up to 20%.
Allowed up to
Yeah.
20%.
Yeah, of your
then I
available
would
window.
probably do something maybe like the hours or something.
Right,
Like that.
okay. All right,
Yeah.
no problem there. And you see a lot of stores have like these A-frame type signs.
Yeah.
Outside on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're not allowed.
They're not allowed.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
All right.
Yep.
So, you've been warned.
Right.
All right.
No problem.
Okay. Any other questions for Eric?
No.
That's good.
No,
Eric, any
that's good.
questions for the board?
I do not.
You're good? Jason, want to take the...
Sure. In the matter of DRB 2019-43, the application for awning at 15 West Avenue in Wayne for Philly Bloke, I move to vote.
Second. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Awesome.
Lots of luck to you.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate
Thanks.
you guys.
Good luck.
Yep.
And you'll see Peggy for a permit for your, to install. Okay, next is DRB 2019-44, the application of Roman J. Corape, LTD, at 237 South Bryn Mawr Avenue in Bryn Mawr for a ground sign. Hello, sir.
Thank you. Good evening, gentlemen. I purchased this property a little over a year ago, and we're looking to replace the sign of the architect that had owned it previously with our law firm sign. And this sign is actually further back from the roadway and complies with all of the requirements. This is an R5 district, but it has a variance for non-conforming professional use, which puts it in the CO office category.
Jason?
My only question I have is, there's, at no point in time, you have no illumination expected on this, whether it's
Do
the
not
ground sign
intend
lighting
to,
up or
no, sir.
illumination? Okay.
Headlights get it enough.
Yes. Thank you.
And materials on that sign? They're going to use it?
Indicated wood-like, yes.
Okay.
The old sign is rotted, so
Yeah.
we'll go with better
Yeah,
materials.
most of them that come in today,
Yes.
there's some sort of synthetic.
Exactly.
You're changing from the blue, or to the blue backdrop?
White poles and blue
Right.
signage, yes.
What's there now is kind of a grayish black, or almost, I don't know if it was black at one point, right?
It's whited out
Yeah.
since I bought it.
Again, it's a pretty simple
Yep, straightforward.
application, and size is okay, height is okay, your text is okay, you're going to move it back. I'm just curious why you're moving it back 2 feet. Was it a little bit of a block before?
Yeah, I think
Visual?
it's an improvement.
Yeah. I mean, was it, did it block hard to see when you pulled out or anything, or just, you feel it's just a better spot?
Better spot.
Good, that's great,
Mhm.
good. Okay. Say pretty easy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Any other
No,
questions, or, sir, you're okay?
Thank you.
Okay.
In the matter of DRB 2019-45, application for the installation of a ground sign, move to approve the application.
Here a second.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank you very much, sir.
Appreciate that. Next on the agenda is DRB 2019-45, the application of New Wayne Pizza at 111 South Wayne Avenue in Wayne, zoned under the Wayne Business Overlay District for 2 awnings. Hello, Mike.
Hey, guys.
Yeah, so.
See that? Hello.
Hello there.
We're trying to put these awnings up at our pizza shop for a couple of reasons, really. The heat is, to get the heat off the front of the building is the biggest problem in the summertime. Having nice awnings is just the perk of it. They're nice looking, but to functioning, we need to get this sun off the front of our building. It probably increases the heat in the restaurant in any summer day. Real hot, I mean hot, very hot. So with the shade alone, it'll be great for us. It's just to help keep the heat down on the inside of the left side, which is the pizza shop, and on the right side, that's the new dining room that we built, which is great. You know, it looks better with the 2 of them, and it probably would be just as hot. It's the heat. Once the heat starts bellowing up inside of the restaurant, it's pretty terrible. So there were awnings up there long ago, but like anything else in that place, nothing was really replaced.
Okay.
So
So they're retractable.
they're retractable, yeah, and they're the simplest of the kind. They're just the wind outs and the wind back. They're not electronic.
Okay.
They're not. There's no motors on them or any sorts. They're just your basic awnings with, but with the commercial arms, with the winds and stuff. God forbid they won't get ripped off the building.
Mike, they are this umbrella type material?
Yeah,
Heavy
it's like the canvas. Like
Canvas,
the
yeah.
heavier.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Jason?
So, operationally, how do you see this being used when it's not summertime? And
They'll probably never come out. Only come out in the afternoon, and then they get wound back in, obviously, because you don't want to leave them out. You don't want to leave them out any time of the night or any,
Right.
in case a storm comes, because they will get damaged.
Right.
It's really just for when the sun goes down. I'd say, say 1 o'clock in the afternoon until about 6 or 7 o'clock at night. Worst is really from like 5 o'clock on. It's just terrible because the
Get that
sun sets.
afternoon.
But by that time, it's too late. Like we've done this for 2 years. That's our biggest. This is probably one of our biggest problems: the
Yeah.
heat in the building, which we've kind of gotten under control, with exhaust and everything. But it's still not enough. Not even close to being enough.
So, in your application, it says that they will extend 8'3" from the
They can
side?
go. They can go out that far. They'll
Right.
never. We're not going to use them to like go out to exceed anything. We're just trying to get
It's just the solar heat gain, you're just trying to block the
trying to
angle
block
of the
that
sun.
sun off the front of the
Right.
building. And I don't even really. I don't know about the dining room because obviously we just got
It's
open
new
a
to
week
you
ago. It's
guys,
new
yeah.
to us. I can't tell you. I mean, let's be honest. It's going to be hot in the restaurant. It's going to be hot in the pizza shop. It's going to be hot over there.
Yeah.
Trying to keep the sun off the front. You know, a big tree would be great. Everyone took the trees down. I'm happy with the trees, but now you know, we'll deal with it.
Yeah.
Trees are nice for us. I wish I had 3 of them right in front of the pizza shop.
All right, well,
Well, there's 2 concerns. The one was the operation. So if you're saying this is a daily retraction and even of that,
Well,
it's
as
only
needed, like-
seasonal. Yeah.
Yeah, as
right.
needed. Not in the winter. I don't, it'll never be a problem in the winter because the
Right.
sun's good in the winter.
Exactly.
We don't have any heat or air conditioning in the pizza shop. There's never been any over there. So now the restaurant next door has heat and air conditioning. We're able to get the benefit of the heat, which is great. But
Right.
there's never been a heat source or an air conditioning source ever
In
in the
your-
pizza
in
shop.
the-
So
yeah.
you can imagine what it's like in there before we got in there.
Right.
Pretty rough.
No, I think that's fine. The second concern is the limitation of signage is limited to the name of the business,
Yeah.
right? And so in this case, sort of the always a tradition, or I'm sorry, a Wayne tradition, and the dine-in and take-out delivery is not subsequently the name of the business and wouldn't be allowed to be on the sign.
On the dining room
both.
or any of
On-
them?
On both.
I think our architect did the research on it, and he said that it complied, like we didn't exceed any of the signage because we're not putting signage on the dining room or any sorts or anything in the windows. We're not trying to,
Yeah.
No, I think like by right, you have an amount of area that's given
Right.
to you, but I can't, I'm not sure which code or what you would
Sure.
cite, but
We can actually cite it out right here. It'd be section 280-122, subsection C3, speaking to awnings. And it says, awning signs shall be permitted and shall be included in the computation of total permitted sign area. Signs shall display only the business name, proprietor, property address, or business telephone number, letters, logo, and numerals not to exceed a height of 8 inches, and so forth.
yeah, so,
So by code, the only information that's allowed to be on the awning would be the name of the business, the proprietor, and the property address.
so I could put,
phone number.
Or phone number.
so I could put New Wayne, New Wayne, New Wayne, New Wayne, all the way across the whole entire thing if I wanted to.
Probably won't look too good.
Or, no, I'm just saying, or I
Yeah.
could put nothing on it. I really just want the
Well, that would get
benefit.
into a subject of how we would interpret the code there to see whether you're
Yeah.
allowed to have multiple iterations of the same.
I wouldn't do that, no, I'm
I
just saying.
understand, but exactly.
Yeah.
well, I think like a new Wayne pizza would be fine centered on.
Both of them.
It'd be-
I think
Yeah.
it helps tie the dining room side in to have them
Absolutely.
over there.
Yeah, we're trying to like, and I'll be honest with you, I'm trying to do what's best for the whole entire business because it was one place, now
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
Right,
two,
yeah.
and you try and make it, like, I wanted to put a sign right in the middle of the buildings, but I like the old school look. I know it sounds crazy, but
No, it's.
we didn't
nice.
want to change,
Yeah.
change the signage, and we didn't know how to incorporate, that's one of our biggest problems, trying to get say, hey, this is New Wayne here.
Right.
So we figured we'd try and take the simplest route and do it that way, but I would, and obviously, I'd like to keep it. I'd rather have nothing if that's the case, because then, really, the function is just to keep the sun off the building.
Right.
That's what I care about.
So the awnings and the canopy are all, those are
Yeah.
okay, right? And
Yeah.
now we're just into like
What do
the
you do?
actual, like on that little,
Yeah.
strip, what's actually permitted, and that's what we're
Yeah.
sort of.
I mean, New
speaking
Wayne
about.
pizza on it, as well as having like, say, New Wayne underneath it again is kind of redundant. It's like it's telling you twice. You know, I
Like,
don't
you
really
can put
need
your,
that.
your phone number, and we
Yeah.
also allowed websites.
But is
Right.
there anything I can put on the right side? Like, so dine-in, take-out, and delivery is no good?
Yeah.
No,
that-
unfortunately not.
It'd have to be the business name. I would argue, and this is somewhat subjective, is that you
Yeah.
could put the, New Wayne Pizza on the right-hand side,
Gotcha.
right? Potentially, and I would center it potentially in the sort of long
Yeah.
band. And then on the left, that's where it could be the website, it could be the phone number. Or, while it is redundant, I don't think it's horrible to actually have New Wayne Pizza again, centered. And then, again, it sort of
Yeah.
speaks to branching and sort of holding both storefronts.
So, I'm wondering, I mean, I don't know with changing it, making the decision now and saying what I want to put there
Yeah,
is
they-
tough because I got a partner, number one. Don't
Right.
want to say anything shouldn't be up there. I'd rather just get them up there with nothing on them and then add it to it if I have to.
Well, do you want to come back? Because
Yeah.
you
No,
don't
no,
need
no.
them now.
Well, I want
Yeah,
the
yeah.
awnings because if we can get the awnings up, that's great. You know what I mean? And if we have to wait, the wordage it's important. You don't want to look
No,
We
I
want it to
hear
look
you.
right, like, we're
And-
pretty, even though you know how we are, we've been there a long time
Right.
and we're busy, we want it to be right and we want it to look right for the people. in this
But
town.
like you were saying, you're coming into the season
Yeah.
where you're not planning to use
Exactly.
the awning. So like if you
Yeah.
want to make sure you're paying
Yeah.
for it now,
Yeah.
make sure you get the right wording now.
Yeah,
So if it's something where you want to come back, we could continue this
Yeah,
matter.
I think it's the best
Yeah,
thing.
that way
Yeah.
you and your partner get the name right
Yeah.
and what you want on there. That,
so it has to be specific to the business, New Wayne.
So phone number, website, address.
It's a shame, because the
name of
dining's
business.
important, like, the dining is, there's, if we even put dine-in on the right,
well, that's again, then where, as we spoke before, like you have 20% of that storefront
Yeah.
that's available for signage.
We
like
could
with
use that
window
if we wanted
graphics,
to.
Vinyl applied graphics or something. at the
maybe we
window.
don't use the banner that's hanging and just put some form of a sign or something. I'm just thinking, you know what I mean, like
Right.
spitballing here. Because you want people to know what's there, but I don't want to make it,
Yeah.
I
Well,
completely agree.
you want to, and I understand
why Yeah, you're you trying get to me, say
the
right?
dine-in,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that is the new function.
it's new, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and we don't want to make it, we don't want to make it you know, we don't want to change much. This is New Wayne Pizza, you know? It's what's been there for 40
Mike, you
years.
see a lot of the stores where they have maybe like 8-inch letters, just
Yeah.
a band across the bottom of the window, or.
Yeah.
And maybe you just want to put it there.
Yeah,
you know,
maybe, yeah, in
and
the
then,
top dining.
You know, clean the awnings up.
So
and-
we can put the signage on the inside of the window,
In the
but
vinyl
limit it to the
application.
awning itself.
Yeah,
So maybe just keep it simple, the
Yeah.
awning's nothing, and just put the window, you know, use the windows, you know, because they're really just functioning, we want the heat off the
Right,
building.
right.
I don't want to, I don't want to make it more difficult than it really needs
Well,
to be.
why don't you come back?
Yeah.
All right.
We'll run it through as a continuation the next
Are
month.
the awnings, like, say we wanted to put them up just standard in green and nothing on them at all, that's okay to
Yeah.
do? So can we
Yeah.
leave it at that if worst came to worst? and
Sure.
So we
you
could
know,
do, I mean, well, and that's where we'll defer back to you in a way.
Yeah.
Like, we could give a conditional approval.
Yeah.
That there's no,
Yeah.
nothing on the canopies.
Yeah.
All right, and we could agree to that now,
Yeah.
and then.
If
then
we
it's
want to
up
do
you
something, we'll
say-
come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and you can, but I, like, what we're concerned with is the cost is
Well-
to you, like, to have to redo the canopies
Yeah.
potentially at some point in time, because it's not, I'm assuming it's not applied as a
Yeah.
treatment to the canopy. It's
But
actually
honest,
part of
the-
the process of making the
It
canopy.
looks nice, but it's not going to make or break our business. The heat off the building
Is
is a
your big
big,
thing.
huge,
Right.
that's what I'm here for. I'm not here to, the signage is
Yeah.
great.
Well, and your New Wayne Pizza, the marquee sign, like,
Yeah.
it
It's saying
stands
it.
out enough
Yeah.
so that you're saying, and it's not like it's so separated where like,
Yeah.
that's at the top of the building and you have several
Yeah.
feet below.
We'll,
Why don't we continue it?
Yeah.
And-
Yeah.
And with the
Yeah.
understanding if you say, hey, well, I'm just going to go plain green awning, you won't have to come back, so.
we're okay if we keep it green, but if we want to do something,
Yeah.
and obviously,
Yeah.
we'll be back for it, because it doesn't take much to do. This is a
Right.
month from now.
Okay.
All right?
So, Mike, if you want to come back for the December meeting, you have to get your plans into Peggy by December 11th.
I think,
Okay.
yeah, no problem.
All
I-
right, so maybe talk with your people and see
Okay.
what direction they want to go.
All right.
So
Sorry
if you
about
do,
the-
come back with, if you're going to
November
put.
20th. You said for the December, you'd have to get the plans in by November.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, thank you.
So if we want,
Yeah,
whatever we
December-
want.
November 20th for the plans,
So
sorry,
with
Mike.
that being said, just so I know, it would have to be nothing, it would have to stay New Wayne specific with phone numbers, and that would be it. Can't, no dine-in, no takeout, no delivery.
Right,
Yeah.
website, phone number, right?
Property address, business telephone number, we do websites because it's
Yeah.
It's
our
new.
interpretation.
Right.
Logos even,
Okay. Then maybe simple is just a better way to go, you know, the old
Mhm.
saying, KISS, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
Sometimes
Yeah.
that's the best,
No,
because
no,
it's really
absolutely.
just doing what we want it to do, keep the sun off the
Okay.
building.
right.
All
I
right.
mean, if you're gonna use, I mean, what Bob was saying is a good idea. If you're gonna put it into the window, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
People will see it.
I'd
Yeah.
rather just make it clean and nice looking
Yeah.
than put something that doesn't.
Yeah.
belong.
If you're going to do that, come back with the plans for that also.
Absolutely.
And again, I'm sorry, Tim corrected me, you have to have the plans in by November 20th
No problem.
for the December 11th meeting, so.
All right.
Okay, so we'll go with the continuation, that's all right for you, Peggy?
And in
Okay,
agreement with just the green would be okay, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
that's cool.
Tim, you want to?
Yeah, in the matter of DRB 2019-45, move to continue this matter to the December meeting.
Here a second?
Well,
But if we want the
per
green,
moment, like, so here's where we just have to be a little bit clear. If they want to do green, are we going to give a conditional approval for just straight up canopy as is without any branding or signage on it?
That's fine with me, Mr. Chairman?
Yeah, positively.
That's fine.
Yeah,
All right, so we're
And,
giving a conditional
That'd
approval.
be I move for conditional approval of the green awnings with no additional lettering on it. Otherwise, this matter will be continued to December.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, and I second.
okay. All in
Okay,
favor?
We all vote yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
thanks.
Thanks,
Yeah.
guys.
You all right with
There you
that,
go.
Mike?
Thank you for
Yeah.
letting
Well, at
us
least
sort of flesh it out.
You know, we learn and we go
Yeah.
from there.
Right.
We'll work with you,
All right.
Mike. No
All right,
problem
thank
there.
you. Yep.
Thanks, Mike. All right, thanks, guys.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to make it, I just wanted to make sure we were clear if it
Well,
was.
I mean,
yeah.
procedurally, it's an awkward one.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Continuing but not.
Right,
Right.
right.
So,
All right, next is DRB 2019-46, the application of L. Limon at 128 West Lancaster Avenue in Wayne, and zoned under the Wayne Business Overlay District for signage, wall signage. Hello, sir.
Hello.
Hi,
Hi, I'm Don Shore. I'm representing El Limon Channel Lettering.
Okay, so you're the sign representative?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Great. All right. Why don't you tell us what you guys have in mind?
We're doing El Limon in 18-inch letters. L's going to be yellow. Limon is going to be a green.
Okay.
Okay, and underneath it, it'll say Mexican Taqueria, and that's just going to be a 10-inch.
Actually, can I ask you just the
Illuminated.
later plans out on the table so that people at home can see? Good, thank you. Unless you have some important notes there you don't want people to see. Huh?
I was taking everybody else's notes too.
Okay,
So basically, it's going to sit on a raceway, and we're going to use LED lights.
did you happen to bring photographs of that whole little shopping center?
I was just looking at that, and
Yeah.
I have an image,
Yeah, good.
and the only thing Dunkin' Donuts is channel lettering.
No, I mean, for the center, there's the cleaners next door and the Domino's on the end?
Existing, what was there beforehand.
Okay, good.
The Avenue Eats, there's the
Just to get
cleaner.
an idea that it was an 18-inch by approximately 12-foot long pre-existing. If you can see it, I'm sorry.
Yep.
In the way.
No, no, that's,
So,
And each of
The whole box.
other
The whole
properties,
box, yeah.
Cleaners
Yeah.
has 2 of them there.
mhm.
And the property measured, I believe, 19 feet,
Yeah.
5 inches wide.
I think what we're trying to do in a lot of these, like, little strip centers, and of course, this is a little strip center, is some sort of continuity.
Yes, yes.
And that building was reskinned a couple years ago,
Uh-huh.
and the way they did it, there's almost an area where that sign should fit right in.
Right, well,
And I think that previous sign, like you said, was probably 18 inches,
yes.
and the cleaners were consistent with the 18-inch, and even the Domino's on the end. I don't think you have a photograph of that, but,
Domino's is channel lettering.
yeah, and they're rather small, too, and they fit within that box, that designated box.
I think the logo spills up just a little bit.
It's too big.
No, the logo of the Domino's.
Yeah,
might spill
right,
up
the
just a
dice
little
or
bit.
whatever. it is.
Exactly,
Yeah. But the lettering
exactly.
itself fits within the
Right,
box. Yeah.
I was trying to keep the letters, and not let them get too carried away, as far as height and everything.
got a
and
little carried away.
being too long.
Yeah.
and that's our concern basically is the size of the sign. Is that it's potentially too large, in that it doesn't provide sort of a visual continuity or consistency with its adjacent neighbors, right?
What about the square footage? Wouldn't it fit in within the square
So
footage
square
that's
footage,
permitted?
you're permitted, but then also, and correct me if I'm wrong, gentlemen, but it exceeds the height of the lettering alone. For just the L alone, it should be within 15 inches, right? As proposed, you currently have 18 inches.
correct.
Right?
That's right.
So that alone is sort of outside of what's permitted, right? And again, you may be right in that, you can maximize the signage, but our concern, again, is whether it is consistent with maybe its neighbors. Again, it may not have to be. You can argue that it doesn't have to be. But we are concerned that, at the very least, that the L and the L and then the Limon are too large, and that they should be no larger than 15 inches. Is that correct?
Yeah, I would really
Yeah.
like to keep it within that 18-inch total. And, I mean, that building sits right on top of the highway.
It's right there,
Yeah.
and so that's one of the functions of this board. It's beyond just the compliance with the code. The code actually vests this board with discretionary power when you're talking about the aesthetics of the community. And so when you're looking at this building specifically, when you have multiple vendors with similar signage right there,
Oh, I understand.
if we can tailor that El Limon into into that box that kind of naturally fits there. I think
How-
that's what we're looking
How
at.
about if we just did El Limon in 18-inch, skip the taqueria, Mexican taqueria, and possibly put that in the window? Not as an illuminated, just
Vinyl.
channel lettering, yeah, vinyl letters, I'm
Right.
sorry. That's just a thought. I mean,
No,
I'm
no,
just
yeah,
thinking
which
out
is
loud
fine.
as I'm talking to you, because I wasn't
Right,
sure
right.
about the 15 inches.
Well, we were doing the same with the previous, right?
Right,
just
right,
thinking
right.
out loud,
Yeah.
So that's fine to do that. I think we'd still have to say it.
Well, part of it, it's not just that, like, when you're talking about the size of the letters, one of the things that we try to do with this board is keep consistency actually with the actual letter size when you're close to the road especially, rather than have, because if you're right up next to the road and you have an 18-inch letter and it's this big, but you're then 30 feet away from the road, an 18-inch letter, it doesn't have the same
That's correct.
perspective.
That's right, that's
And
right,
so
I agree.
from the aesthetic appearance for the township, that's one of the things that we try to consider. And really an 18-inch letter at this building,
Mm-hmm.
I think my personal perspective of it is that an 18-inch letter, even if it's just the letters themselves, gets a little bit big there. Now, when you're talking about the other ones, if they're an 18-inch box,
Mm-hmm.
that's a little different, because then you're talking about the letters are actually still slightly smaller than the
That's correct,
18-inch
that's
while
right.
fitting within the box.
That's right, that's right.
And they're also muted somewhat by being within the box with the other background that's in the box. That's my personal
So
perspective
how
of
about,
this.
how about if we did either just a plain illuminated box with El Limon, and it can say Mexican taqueria within an 18-inch box and design it that way, or just do El Limon in a 15-inch channel lettering? Either way.
I would say that both are could be appropriate.
Like, if you look at the other signs on that building, or the one that was there before,
Right, right.
I mean, keeping consistent with those boxes, I think, works nicely for this.
Okay.
Even with the Domino's, where it is a little bit different, because the Domino's is channel lettering.
Yeah, yeah. I
So having
mean,
the El Limon almost fit more
Like
with
it sandwiches
same
it with-
model.
Yeah.
that's
exactly.
actually balances out to a
Yeah.
certain extent.
Same height as
So I
Domino.
mean, the El Limon in channel letters, 15 inches by themselves, or an illuminated box.
So if it's a either-or situation, then what I would say is we would continue this for next month.
How about if, in order to make it just an okay and go ahead,
That's,
how about if I just go 15-inch El Limon letters?
as channel letters, we could give a conditional approval to say that the El Limon are channel letters that are illuminated in the green and yellow, right?
15
And they stay
inches
within
by,
15 inches.
by 10 foot, the 10-foot measurement, the 120 inches?
Right, well,
It's shorter than the
It'll probably be
existing.
shorter, because you're maintaining proportions, right? If it's 18, it'll be a little bit shorter, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know, just because you'll maintain proportions
Yes.
as the height shrinks, so will the width, right?
Well, actually, I want to leave it at, yeah, I agree. 15 inches, it will shrink a little bit, yes.
It'll be nominal.
Yes,
It
yes.
won't be that.
Yes.
When do these guys expect to open up?
Yeah,
Any
that's-
idea?
Pretty soon, so I was, trying to get this approved, or else I'd have to, I told him we'd get a banner for him, as a temporary. But I'd rather
Which is
move
okay,
ahead
too.
Yeah.
with the El Limon letters at 15 inches.
I'm just trying to remember, I know
Yeah.
the other El Limons in the area.
Yeah, like
I know
there's a
the
new
one in Bryn Mawr has like a black drop with multiple colors in there, so it's a little bit different from them even.
It's a new one in Conshohocken. Well, they relocated it in Conchie.
He showed me another pre-existing
Yeah,
one
that's
that
the
was
one
very
above.
similar to this design.
Pretty sharp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know there's the one that in Ardmore, and I just pulled it up on my phone, has kind of like,
It's a shame we don't know what Domino's.
it's a
size
little
is.
bit different. It's not the channel letter, but,
Mhm,
Keep it
mhm.
consistent with Domino's.
Well,
so,
each location is different.
yeah, I
We
understand.
should still-
I don't know if it's franchisees or how it works with the business, but,
I think it's every location, whatever you can do or you're approved to do.
and I know Conshohocken, I'm trying to
He's
remember
got
what
a
their
ground,
looks
he's
like.
got a bullseye out there too.
These are pretty bold
Yeah,
letters.
yeah.
So I think, and gentlemen, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think we're in a position where either we give a conditional approval for El Limon as 15-inch channel letters, right, that fit within that sign box, or we continue this for next month to see sort of the other option right?
Well,
If you're
like
still
I said,
continuing
I would just strictly go with the 15-inch letters, and I'm sure the owner would agree with me to move forwards.
Right.
Maybe we do what we did with Mike, do a conditional, just in case the owner wants something different, give him the opportunity to come back next month.
Yeah, we can,
I mean, I'll say this, I think that the signs from the other facilities would look nice in this, and I think it would be fitting with the signs that are on that building and kind of fit with the signs throughout the township, rather than doing the channel lettering. I understand that it's the business owners has some say with that. My personal preference would be to have a more consistent look with the other ones. I'm not sure if it is the same franchise or how that's worked out in terms of the graphics for those signs.
but in this case, we're in an either or, right? Like on that thing, there's now 3 storefronts that have, Domino's has channel letters, the dry cleaners has just the box, and
Well,
now.
I think the box with that same type of graphic design on it, personally, I think that would look the best there, but that's my
Right.
own personal perspective of it. If you're gonna get the channel lettering, if we shrink them down, you're saying just to do the El Limon and you would drop the Mexican taqueria?
Yeah, and possibly put it in the window instead in white vinyl letters.
Right.
Almost like what
Non-illuminated.
Lee says here, yeah. Live with that?
If that's their choice.
Okay. Well, I was saying to Jason, maybe we'll do what we did to Mike, give him the option to come back, just in case the owner doesn't agree with.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Okay.
Yeah,
That would make me
Oh,
feel
yeah.
pretty good, because I'll say, Manuel, here you go, we can do 15, you want to go? And he goes,
Right.
yeah,
Pulls
go
the
ahead,
trigger and
Don,
go,
or,
yeah.
you know,
Right, if he wants to
no.
come back.
But he'll say yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to stick with the, kind of the yellow and the green
Yes, sir.
colors
Yes,
on a raceway,
yes,
15 inches, no taller.
yes.
Okay. And it'll fit kind of within that box that's established on the building.
Yes, yes. It will be, it'll be less than the length of the pre-existing.
Okay.
And then any signage that occurs in the window cannot exceed 20%
I
of
wrote
that
that
window.
down too,
Right.
yes.
Okay, and you could see the previous tenant had some vinyl
Yeah,
application
yeah,
in
yeah,
there.
yeah,
And
his
that was about
breakfast
what we're
lunch.
looking for, something subdued like that.
Yeah,
So, the other thing on that building is there's a pole sign out front.
yes, there is,
Okay, and that's where you're going to change a panel.
of course.
Okay.
And it's going to be the same color as all the other.
Yeah, because the color
It's
to
a
that.
con- It looks like the landlord keeps it consistent or
Right.
whatever.
Yeah, the Avenue East color wasn't really on the money, so it was a little washed out looking compared to the other panels.
It was.
don't go by Avenue
I
East
actually looked at it
Yeah.
and made note of it.
Sounds like somebody's seen it a couple times.
Burgundy. It was a burgundy
Yeah,
color.
yeah.
I mean, I distinctly remember looking at it.
Yeah,
as
okay, all
burgundy.
right. We'll just try to.
Sees it every day.
Doesn't look out his window.
And everyone is burgundy, so it's like I say,
Yeah.
okay, we're doing burgundy.
Right, okay. Now Peggy, that wasn't on the application, that pole sign. Do they need to do extra paperwork for that, submit anything, or how do you want to work that?
Well, if he could submit something to me to show what it's going to look like, so we have it for the file, if you're okay with it,
I can email you a copy very easily.
okay.
And we'll just say El Limon, that's it, nothing else on it,
That's fine.
Yeah.
okay? Keep it simple.
All right.
All right. Okay, so you know about window signage, no more than 20%.
Right.
Just make sure that the property owner has the address prominently displayed on the building,
Okay.
okay? And you probably heard us with the other applicants, you're not allowed to have the sandwich boards out front, so
Yeah,
tell him to save
I
his
got it.
money.
So you want me to put his address on the?
Somewhere on the building.
Okay.
It may already be there, but just to play it safe, whether it's on the door
No,
or
I
whatever.
have a note.
Okay. Just those couple of things, and, all right, guess we're in pretty good shape.
Yep.
Any other questions, comments, Tim? You're good? Sir, any comments for the board, questions?
No.
So I understand then, you need to get the plans to Peggy and corrected plans for the 15-inch letters on the building?
Do you want me to submit the, I can do that very quickly, too.
Yeah. Yep.
And then if you're the property owner or the business owner wants to come back with new revised plans next month, he doesn't agree with what, okay?
That's fine.
You have
That's
the
fine.
opportunity to come back, you need to get new plans into the township building by November 20th for the December 11th meeting,
Got it,
okay?
yeah.
All right, who wants to take this one?
Well, I can take it.
Okay.
All right. In the matter of DRB 2019-46, the application for new signage at El Limon at 128 West Lancaster Avenue, I move that we conditionally approve, provided that the signage is limited to channel letters that do not exceed 15 inches, and that additional documentation is provided for that and for the pole sign out of the street. I move to approve.
Okay. Tim, you all right?
Yeah,
Okay. Here a second? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Thank you.
Does she
Yes.
want my money now?
You can pay me. No, you can, yeah, you can talk to Peggy about
Yes.
that. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, thank you,
Thank
sir. Okay, next is DRB 2019-47, the application of the Little House Shop Incorporated at 503 West Lancaster Avenue, Suite 1300 in Wayne for 4 wall signs. And I think everybody knows this is in the Eagle Village Shopping Center. Hello, sir.
Hello, I'm Lou Silverblank. I'm representing the Little House Shop.
Good
And
to see
just
you.
yes, good to see you all.
Thank you.
Just for orientation purposes, this is the building that the Little House Shop occupies. That's the whole layout of Eagle Village.
Okay, so looks like 4 signs. Why don't we start with the front of the building?
Yep. And there is a variance on this building.
Okay.
So the first picture shows basically we're replacing the existing signs, same exact size, different colors, and there's a slight change to their logo.
Do you have a color sample? You want to lay it down?
Yes.
Okay.
Almost looks black.
Yeah, it looks
there.
black, but it's,
But it's a very dark blue.
yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, I can show you the existing, and you have to excuse the color because my printer was running out of ink
Okay.
at the time. But you know, there's actually, this will be,
Good.
yeah, so they simplified the font. They have that little house on the H. Other than that,
Yeah. And what kind of material are those signs made of?
this is going to be high-density urethane.
Okay.
The existing ones are PVC, and I'm finding that, especially on these darker colors, they warp. And high-density urethane's a little more expensive, but it's much more dimensionally stable.
Okay.
And so that's what I'm recommending for these.
Okay.
And it's high-density urethane is a little more fragile than PVC, but it's not like there are a bunch of kids playing basketball
Right.
in this place.
Gotcha.
You know.
Okay.
So I don't think, I think that's a better choice of materials.
All 3 signs are going to be in that material?
Yeah, all 4.
Oh,
Yes.
4.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yep.
Yeah. The 3 wall signs are 1 inch thick. The blade sign is 2 inches thick.
Okay.
Okay, so that large one is 27.83 square feet, the one we're looking at. Okay.
Yeah.
You guys all right with that?
Yep.
I think it looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a nice, clean logo, too. And I,
I like the color change, quite frankly.
And,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I think it'll fit
especially,
with the community there.
especially since they changed the awning colors, and that green, it's just an assault against the awnings that they
Yeah.
put up. So,
I know you've been before us many times, and naturally, you know that when you fasten that, the fasteners have to be hidden.
yes, and
Okay.
actually, these are going to be made with an 1/8 of an inch aluminum plate in the back, and we're going to use plugs. We'll drill through it, fasten it, then put a plug in there, touch it up, and you'll never see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, good.
We've used cleats, we've used various other approaches, and this is the best way to do it. that
Okay.
It's going to stay put.
All right, good. All right, so that's the first sign.
The first sign. The second one, there's the original and the new.
That's on the side that faces Eagle Road.
I'm not sure. Let me just see.
I believe it is. Or, well, you have two, right? That's the one that's in the park.
Yeah, that's the one that's in the parking lot. I have the Eagle Road sign
Okay. I
separately.
think it looks similar, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's exactly the
It's
same.
the same, it's
Yeah,
so same material and,
yeah,
Pretty
this
much
is
same drill.
high-density urethane.
Yeah.
Inch thick, plus the 1/8 inch for the.
is there any uplighting on that, or is it
No.
just kind of sitting
Nope,
there?
just
Okay.
sitting there.
I think they've got some street lamps out
There,
there, so.
there is ambient light.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
there's no spotlights, no goosenecks, no nothing.
So it looks pretty good.
Yeah,
Is
I
there
think it
a
looks
problem
fine.
there?
Is there trim around that? Some sort of like,
There's a frame,
Yeah.
which, I'm not sure if you can see it too well in these pictures, but, well, there's white, and then there's a blue frame
Yeah.
that's painted.
so that's an existing, they will
That's-
just paint to match the
Yeah.
blue. So
Yep.
that's not a new install.
No,
No, that's, okay.
yeah.
All right, we good with that one? Yep. Tim, good. Jason?
Yeah.
Since,
Then why don't we look at the Eagle Road side?
yeah,
It's
let's
gonna
do
be
the
pretty much the same.
Eagle Road side, like, exactly.
They're allowed that sign because they're a corner property.
Right.
Facing the road, so.
So that's where you see that frame a little bit.
Right,
You see
right.
it.
Yeah, it sits out kind of a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's proud of the,
Yeah.
of the base there.
It looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And
And that should under 15 feet, no problem there, so.
the fourth and the
Not
most
plenty of
difficult
place.
one is this blade sign, which it has been up there for many years with the variance.
Yeah.
They just want to replace it. It's the same new logo.
Yeah, it's kind of unique in that center that they've gotten a variance for those
Yes.
type signs. And,
Yeah,
yeah,
Yeah, they have a couple, like, there's been a couple in there, right?
yeah,
Yeah, a couple of shops have.
right.
No,
This is the one I think is probably the least offensive because it's up high.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to worry about hitting your head up.
are those, in the current sign, is it extruded letters on a green background? And it looks like if there's a little shadow.
no,
in
it's
the-
it's all V-routed.
It's, okay.
Yeah,
And the follow-up question was that's gonna be the case for the new one?
yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
Mhm. And if you're interested, this sign gave me nightmares because people don't realize how much wind shear there is on a sign that size. And so before I agreed to put it up, I had Donna shore up the wall. So this is the installation. It's actually through bolted. They put up 2x4s or 2x8s or something on the inside. They really shored it up, and we through bolt the frame so that if that sign goes, it's taking the building with it. So, yeah.
All right, good.
I hope it stays.
It's
Yeah.
been there for, I guess, about 6 or 7 years now. So,
All right, good.
so that's the whole request.
Looks pretty simple and clean and
Yeah.
good
No, I think it's
application.
good.
Yeah. So, Lou, any questions for the board? You're okay with everything then?
All right,
Okay.
good.
All right. Tim, you want to take it?
Sure, in the matter of DRB 2019-47, the application of the Little House Shop for approval of 4 wall signs, I move to approve the application.
I
Chris?
second?
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and I hope you all have a wonderful
You
Thanksgiving.
too.
thank
Thanks,
you.
thanks a
Take
lot. We'll
care.
see you soon.
Yep.
All right. All right, okay. And last on the agenda tonight is DRB 2019-48, the application of Kitchen Capers at 126 East Lancaster Avenue in Wayne for wall signage. Hello there.
Hi.
Hi. Take your time.
Let me get to this, I might have to go through. Hi, my name is Frankie Franceschini, and I'm here representing Kitchen Capers.
Hello there.
Trying to get the sign rigid mounted so it would conform to your
Right.
criteria.
Okay.
And we'd like to add a little simple LED light
Yeah.
right where the old electric came from, whoever had, I can't remember what the sign was for this place before us.
Remember.
Because it was the upholstery place, but they just put up I don't even think they had a sign, they did something in the window.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I can't begin to
Okay.
remember, and I've lived here almost 30 years.
Okay, so the kitchen caper sign is up as we
Yes.
speak? Okay.
I beg forgiveness.
Okay, all right. Does it move with the wind?
That's why I
It's
wanted
got to be
rigid
locked down?
mounted,
Yeah, okay,
So
All
nice
right.
big angle iron up there and
okay,
up to the,
all right. And what kind of material is
it's
this?
wood, it's wooden, 2x2, inch and a quarter.
Okay,
It's routed out and then it's painted blue.
okay.
It's an old sign they had from a store, I don't know how long ago.
Kind of fits in there.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is, I showed them, push-through letters like California Closets, I showed them a million things, and it's three brothers, and we couldn't get a decision before we got open, and now it's the holidays, so.
Right.
Maybe I'll be seeing you.
Yeah, you can always come
Right.
back some other time.
Somebody wanted an awning, it was like nobody could make a
Right, right.
decision, so,
No, we're here for you, so whatever you need.
sounds good.
Yeah,
So will you be using the same sign?
Yes.
Right? And so it's just, you'll be using that, but you're gonna put in a piece of angle iron, right? That's, I mean, do you know off the top of your head? And the only, previous, the Little House talked about the wind shear, right? So,
Yeah. This
I'm
place,
sorry,
it's
Frank,
not-
just use the mic, please.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
It's not,
it's not
running
perpendicular
face,
from the,
right.
right.
Yeah, I was definitely thinking of angle iron and not like the steel type, but
Yeah.
a thicker, longer.
But that'll be, it'll run the consistent, it'll run the same width of the sign
width
itself.
of the sign at top,
Right.
bolted, and then mounted to the top, which is wooden above.
Yeah.
And we'll make sure, like, when we get up there, I mean, I was the
Right,
one
right.
that hung this, but we'll make sure that,
Okay,
and it'll raise it up a little bit too.
Yeah, it'll-
because
whatever
it's
the-
on-
the
Right, you see on this.
difference
one,
of the
it's-
eye bolts or
right,
whatever, yeah.
Exactly, get rid of all that. Then I show what else is there. Wayne actually has sporting goods, is a similar sign, it's just huge.
Yeah,
so you're going to add some lighting to it?
Yeah, just LED, keep it simple, low volt, not a lot of, there's a 20 amp there now. And you can actually see on one of the drawings, or a couple of them, where the little plate is, and
Yep.
the electric is behind it. So,
You okay with that?
yeah. I mean, it becomes an aesthetic issue, but is there an option for the sun, or the light bar to actually be a different color? Right, like you're proposing black, which is fine, I'm nitpicking now.
right, the
don't know
reason
if
I
it'd be-
did chose black is because
Yeah.
their goose heads are black
Right,
right
next
to us.
door at the, yeah.
At the bread company. So that's kind of why I didn't want to introduce another color.
Right.
What do you think? Tim?
That
You
makes
all right with
sense,
that? You okay with-
yeah.
What do you think, Jason?
Yeah, I
Huh?
don't,
You're good with it?
yeah, I don't have any other questions.
Actually.
Although yeah, the pictures are, further incriminate, the issue a little bit, is that we
I'll
just
talk
have to say
to the
that
DM
the
about
sandwich
that,
boards
yes.
aren't permitted. Not that kitchen caper is the only offender out there, right? But, we just have to say it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not permitted.
I have a question, since I've been hearing you talk to the other folks. So at this point, can I get permission to do in the future up to 20% in the windows? Is that, you kind of were saying that like window graphics are okay? How it's,
Yeah,
20% is by right.
Yeah, by right, you have 20% to put, window graphics, signage in the window.
we've asked people before, though, if they were going to put, let's say, a neon or something like that, to come before us to get.
oh yeah, I'm talking about vinyl. out.
Yeah, if
Like
you're
a
just
white
doing a
vinyl-
vinyl.
like white vinyl or
vinyl,
something?
period, done.
Yeah.
Or
you have that.
marker if it would
Yeah,
get it by
yeah,
hand,
But it's
yeah.
usually a
Yeah.
pizza shop or something, yeah.
Yeah,
It
you have
definitely
that
would be
by
white
right.
vinyl and not anything
Yeah,
illuminated.
right,
Yeah.
exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, that's
All right.
fine.
And I think maybe when Beethoven was down there years ago, she might have had, I think she
Little
did,
something,
yeah, some
We
vinyl.
do have the numbers on the door. They're
Right.
in
Good.
black, and I put them there myself.
Okay, great, great. All right, so I think that's pretty simple, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think everything's fine.
All right, any other questions for the board? You're good?
In the future, other people do have awning, you probably, because I would hope at some point I get to make my argument to them again.
Yeah, no,
about
awnings look
bigger-
good.
The
So,
awning would be fine, and you could bring that back to us, like the couple doors down on the west side is
Right.
the recording studio.
Right.
That put a new
Right.
awning, and that one's even different, and it's like that slatted
Right.
metal,
right.
which has some oil canning, and it's maybe not as pretty.
Because
but-
we're really the only storefront that has those windows still revealed. Everybody else covered them up, and they're kind of a unique, nice feature.
Yeah.
All those little
Yeah.
paned windows
Mhm.
above.
Yeah.
I
Which
didn't
even
wanna
more
get-
so, I would argue against the canopy then,
Yeah.
if I may, because then those are,
Well, that's why, that's
Right.
how this, that's why we're here. Yeah.
Right.
I kind of like the California closet, like, application to do that in our sign band, but that's down the road.
All right,
I-
like I
I
say,
do like
can always
that.
come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the only caveat, if I may, and I'll just throw it out here, I don't like the color temperature of the lights of color foul. I don't know, that sounds a little weird, but the color temperature is almost like, it's too white, right? It's almost
It
too
is
bright.
it is
And
white.
It should be like, a little bit more subtle if you can, you know, there's a range of color temperatures you can select for those lights, so that if you
Right.
can just, like a hue of yellow a little bit to it, like it
Warmer.
warm that, yeah, exactly,
Yeah,
warms
same
it
with
up.
like LEDs on your Christmas tree, the
Right.
warmer better than the
It's,
bright white.
it's softer on the eye, and then
Right.
subsequently a little bit better, in my opinion. That's an opinion
Well,
based.
especially with the
situation.
cream color and the white sign. Like,
Yeah.
when you have a bright light on that stuff, it's gonna really be bright.
Yeah, so that's for down
Okay,
the road.
I'll take a
but
look.
For consideration when
Yeah.
you got, if and when if you were to move forward with.
Right.
With that,
You're right, though, it is a very
yeah.
white, pure white.
All right. You're good? No other
Yeah.
questions, comments? The board's good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Who wants to take the last one?
I can do it.
Okay.
All right, in the matter of DRB 2019-48, the application for signage and a new illumination for kitchen capers at 126 East Lancaster Avenue, I move to approve.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Okay,
Thank
you
very
bet.
much.
Thank you very much.
All right, any other business for our board tonight?
No, I do not believe so.
Okay, we'll see you in December. Thank
All right,
you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.